Hi, this is Vish here, and welcome back to the Uneducated God video series. Today I want to introduce to you a person who was a simple, loving, down-to-earth human being with zero assets to his name during his lifetime, and yet he was one of the greatest forces to reckon with when it came to learning the higher aspects of human life. A person whom many consider to be one of the greatest human souls born on earth. I do not want to name this personality nor talk about the details of his birth and all his accomplishments, but what I would like to do today for you is place before you 4 qualities of this great man which would help you understand the magnificence of his personality and help you and enable you to embrace his universal teachings and take your life to the next level. First, he's probably the only person, in the history of the world who practiced all the 3 main religions of Hinduism, Christianity, and Islam. He practiced Hinduism, Christianity, and Islam, and had visions of Krishna, Christ, and Muhammad. And he realized that all these religions lead to that one God. My dear friends, while there are many religious souls, who preach that, all paths lead to one God, here was one man who demonstrated it in this one life. He demonstrated it in his one life by embracing Hinduism, Christianity, and Islam at different points of his life. And he conducted his life according to the norms of these religions. He practiced what he preached, and he demonstrated to the world what unity of religion really means by embracing all the 3 religions and practicing it at various points of his life. This one act is unparalleled in the history of the world. This is what the great man had to say about unity of religions. As the different streams having their sources in different places all mingle their water in the sea, O Lord, so all the different paths, which men and women through different tendencies, various though they might seem, crooked or straight, all lead to Thee. And it's the most wonderful, thing which you talked about, unity of religions. He practiced what he preached. The second point, he's probably the only person, in the history of the world who taught men the highest expression of love. He's the only person in the history of the world who taught men the highest expression of love, which is respecting a woman's purity. He was married. This great man was married, but he never had any physical relationship with his wife, not even once. Rather, he worshipped her every day just as one worships an idol, and saw the Divine Mother in her. He revealed the greatest secret, that love can only be distributed. It can never be acquired or blossomed through any physical act. And it was a great revelation, and he lived up to his words. He showed people that love can only be distributed. It cannot be acquired or blossomed through any physical act. Only those beings who have realized what love is can really express their love by distributing it. All the various expressions of love carried out by, all human beings are driven from an idea of love. According to him, all the expressions of love which various people, do at various points of their life are driven by an idea of love which, according to him, is illusionary and misleading. And He's given lots of examples which we will go through at some later point in some other video. So he was a classic example of a person who proved to the world that you do not have to be a monk or leave your house and go to a mountain and meditate to realize God. Both husband and wife can realize God in this very birth if they want to. That was quite phenomenal for a husband and wife to stay together and to realize God, which actually defies most of the religious teachings. Because all teachings, if you go about, you would see that it has not been realized with both husband and wife being together. So that's quite phenomenal. Third, he was the first person in the history of the world to take human evolution to a completely different level, beyond the realms of the conscious and subconscious mind. He really took human evolution to a completely different level beyond the realms of the conscious and subconscious mind. His life was a classic example of a person gifted with superconscious mind, which is the ultimate goal of human life. He not only revealed the secret of the superconscious mind, but he also demonstrated how one can attain this level of superconscious mind in their day-to-day life by embracing two important things. And they are voluntary surrender and discrimination between the real and the unreal. And it's quite a voluminous thing, and he has laid down very, very simple examples. And again, we'll cover that at later points of the video. But just for this video, just to let you know the importance and the power of the superconscious mind, that's all you need to know at this stage. So, one of the things was, his teachings were as deep as the ocean and as wide as the sky. It embraced both ordinary minds and a genius mind. So that's again very phenomenal, teachings which can, teach a child as well as a genius, and which completely ripped apart the, conscious and subconscious phenomena and gave the world the superconscious mind. So that was also quite phenomenal. And the fourth and the last thing is, this great man gifted to the world a genius, a personality which probably brought about a radical and complete shift in human thinking of more than half of the world population. This great man gifted the world. One of his disciples was Swami Vivekananda, and this person probably radically changed the thinking of more than half of the world population. Swami Vivekananda, the disciple of this great man, he placed before the world the strength of the ancient teachings of Vedas and Upanishads, the ancient Hindu scriptures, which talk about the strength to realize God through self-inquiry, which the whole Western world, went mad after him. And, it was a phenomenal thing to happen. He taught people how to realize God through self-inquiry. He preached God without form. He gave them an option which was not there earlier. The ultimate knowledge of self-inquiry, which combines truth, love, work, and which grinds all of them into a force which helps one to realize God and conquer the whole world. So this is what Swami Vivekananda, one of the greatest disciples of this great man, achieved through his work. He gave people dry, hard reason, softened in the sweetest syrup of love, and made spicy with intense work, and cooked in the kitchen of yoga so that even a baby could digest it. And I'm sure there were many babies who did digest it. So these were the 4 qualities of this great man. One, he embraced all religions, Hinduism, Christianity and Islam, and he practiced them and proved to the world what unity of religion really means. He gave man the highest expression of love, which is to recognize a woman's purity and to respect it. And the third, he discovered the superconscious mind. And fourth, if not the last, he gifted the world with the personality of Swami Vivekananda. And my dear friends, the name of this great personality, whom again I'm privileged to even utter his name, is the great Ramakrishna Paramhansa. Thank you and God bless.